get to, so they've already left, but I'm still going to mention their name because they were here earlier. The Honorable Christy Westphalen, Consul General of Finland. She had to leave. The Honorable Wolfgang Drass, Consul General of Germany. He's still here. Of course he does. The Honorable Enrique Ruiz, Consul General of Spain.
España.
Mr. Milan Kovac, Vice Consul from the Consulate of the Slovak Republic.
Okay.
Mr. Andreas Menz, Consul from the Consulate of Austria. We're also pleased to have from the foreign missions here in Los Angeles, the Director, George Novinger, and J.D. Brown, Assistant Director. We also have some organizations I want to recognize, and Hannah Schnell and Cheryl Bagby from the Santa Monica Convention and Visitors Bureau are here. So if you have any questions about Santa Monica and what to do here, just ask them. Annette Rubb is director of the Goethe Institute. Wolfgang Dolker and Robert Wittenberg on the board of the German American Business Association. And here from DC with one of our groups that program one of our groups that are here this evening, and they'll be introduced in just a little bit. But from DC this evening are Frank Justice. He is with Meridian International Center, which is an organization we work with on a regular basis. Frank?
Where's Frank? Frank.
Welcome to, I'm glad I can say today, welcome to sunny California. I haven't been able to say that for quite a few days. And Stephen Taylor, who is with the U.S. Department of State, the Office of International Visitors. And I now want to introduce Helen Thomas, who is our Director of Public Relations, and she's going to introduce our international visitors.
Okay, thank you very much, Janet, and thank you all for being here with us today. I hope you can all hear me okay? Okay. I am going to introduce the 3 delegations that we have here visiting us in Los Angeles, and as I call your name, if you could please just come up to the front here. After I introduce all of the visitors, I believe there's one from each delegation that would like to make a few remarks about either the wonderful work that they're doing in their home country and or their experience here in the United States. So first we have a delegation of 4 visitors from Germany here with us this evening. Feels like afternoon, but back to this evening. And they are all foreign policy experts in Germany. We have Mr. Axel Berkinkemep, and I really do apologize if I mess up those last names a little bit. My German is not perfect. Mr. Christian Deutschlander, Mr. Christian Katzner, and Miss Alexandra Rombert. We can give them all a big round of applause, please. And Mr. Katzner will be the one that is speaking on behalf of their delegation in just a moment. We also have one visitor here with us from Hong Kong.
It's a video.
And that is Mr. Sao Kong Lee. Ms. Sao Kong Lee, she is working in her home country on protecting human rights. And a big round of applause for her one more time. And last but certainly not least, we have quite a large European delegation who are here in Los Angeles here to discuss immigration and diversity issues. They've been meeting with a number of different organizations here to try to understand how the system works in the United States and compare that with their systems back home. First we have from Austria, Mr. Kenan Gwengoa. Bunga. From Finland, Miss Nasima Razmayat. Two more from Germany, Miss Sara Dekorti and Miss Özlem Toplu. From Hungary, Miss Susanna Kozan. From Norway, Miss Momana Khan. From Russia, Miss Tatyana Tetereva. From the Slovak Republic, Miss Marek Kojic. Mr. Marek. We can all tell now. And finally, from Spain, Mr. Jordi Marreras Palenzuela. So I'm now going to turn the microphone over to the visitors from each delegation that would like to speak on your behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, as mentioned before, we are 4 Germans traveling on the coast of the State Department. That's very nice, and we thank you, the State Department, for that one. Yes, it's not comparable. Our program is not comparable to the European program, as I heard before. We are only Germans, and we are related to the topics of foreign security policy. We started 1.5 weeks ago in DC. Having a week there with the Department of State, Department of Defense, Homeland Security. This is a classical security policy issues. Oh, louder? Do you get it? Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay. As we spent time with the State Department, the Department of Defense, Homeland Security. This was classical security policy. But we are not only into this kind of focus. So they sent us further to Springfield, Illinois, in the Midwest. So it was quite an experience being out there at the hometown of Abraham Lincoln, and they showed us everything from Lincoln. Further on, they said that food health and food production involved security issues as well. They sent us further down to a huge farm where they showed us a production line, and it was quite interesting and a new experience for most of us. And after quite of trouble, difficulties going out of Springfield again, we came finally here to Los Angeles yesterday, and we started today here going around, going to University of Southern California, discussing migration problems, and yeah, that's one thing, seeing what's on the West Coast. That's a totally different perspective compared to DC. We're heading on to Fort Irving, that's close to Barstow, seeing what the Army is doing in the training for troops they send to Afghanistan. That's, for most of us, quite an experience. So we don't have real contact in Germany to the US Army, so that's pretty new. And in the end, we're heading to New York. And there you have terrorism, United Nations, everything what's related to these cities and what we are interested in, what they are changing, what they're doing, and yeah, that's what we're doing. And well, as a small group, we are from various parts in Germany. From Berlin, from North Rhine-Westphalia, that's in the west of Germany, and 2 guys from Munich, that's me and Christian. Alexandra is from Berlin, and Axel is from Düsseldorf. So we have a mixture of most of the German societies, I would say. We do picking a little bit on each other. Mostly we represent the ruling coalition in Berlin. Alexandra is working for the Liberal Party. Axel and me are working for the Union. That's the party of Angela Merkel and the sister party in Bavaria. And Christian is a journalist from Munich, and he's always commenting what we are doing and picking really deeply into it like a journalist. So we're having a lot of fun, and we thank you all that we're having this nice reception with you here. Thank you, the visitors program representative from LA that you make this possible, and thank you.
Okay, on the behalf of the group, I want to thank IBL for making our journey through last 3 weeks both memorable and highly insightful.